A new round of roster cuts. I'm Matt Carlins, and this is Just Pro Wrestling News for Friday, November 5th, 2021. A big welcome to those of you listening on WrestleMap.com. You can bring our updates to your website. Find out how at JustProWrestlingNews.com.
WWE.
Another list of wrestlers released by WWE emerged on Thursday night. There are at least 18 names, including former Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax and former NXT champions Karrion, Kross, and Keith Lee. Also released from the main roster, Hit Row's B-Fab, Mia Yim, Eva Marie, the Lucha House Party, Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado, and Harry Smith, who signed earlier this year but never appeared on TV. More names were cut from the NXT roster: former NXT Women's Champion Ember Moon, former NXT Tag Team Champion Oney Lorcan, also Franky Monet, Scarlett, Trey Baxter, Jessi Kamea, Katrina Cortez, and Jeet Rama. Earlier in the day, WWE executives held their third quarter earnings call. The company reported more than $255 million in revenue, a year-to-year increase of 15%. As of Thursday night, there are no matches announced for Friday night's SmackDown, but we can tell you that Friday night's 205 Live will have the newly formed tag team Jacket Time, that's Kushida and Ikemen Jiro, versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. Meiko Satomura is still the NXT UK Women's Champion. She beat Jinny to retain her title on Thursday's episode. Also, Rampage Brown laid out the UK champion Ilya Dragunov. Earlier in the show, Brown beat Flash Morgan Webster. Angel Hayes won her NXT UK debut, though probably not the way she would have wanted. She got a DQ win over Isla Dawn because Dawn was ignoring the referee's instructions to break a hold. Mustache Mountain was added to what is now a four-way tag title #1 contenders match on next week's episode.
AEW.
Tonight's AEW Rampage has the final first-round match in the TBS Championship Tournament. It's the Bunny versus Red Velvet. Plus, Adam Cole versus John Silver, and CM Punk will be on hand to meet Eddie Kingston face-to-face.
Impact Wrestling.
The new #1 contender for Impact's X Division Championship is Laredo Kid. He pinned Rohit Raju to win a four-way on Thursday's Impact. That also included Steve Macklin and Black Taurus. Laredo Kid will get a shot against Trey Miguel at the Turning Point special on November 20th. Decay will get their rematch for the Knockouts tag titles against the team that took the gold from them, the Inspiration. That match is now set for Turning Point. Mickie James is still the Knockouts champion. She beat Madison Rayne to retain her title on Thursday's Impact. After the match, the #1 contender Mercedes Martinez headed to the ring to have a quick chat with James. Those two will also meet at Turning Point. A non-title match between the Impact Tag Champs, the Good Brothers, and Finjuice ended in a no contest after Bullet Club's El Phantasmo, Hikuleo, and Chris Bay ran down to the ring and beat up everybody. There will now be a tag title #1 contenders match next week between members of Bullet Club and Finjuice. Also on Thursday's show, Impact World Champion Moose, W. Morrissey, and Minoru Suzuki beat Josh Alexander, Matt Cardona, and Eddie Edwards. Morrissey pinned Edwards. Chris Sabin pinned Madman Fulton with a small package, and Eric Young returned to in-ring action with a win. On Before the Impact, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and Sam Beal beat Brian Myers, VSK, and Zicky Dice. Beal pinned Myers with his own move, the roster cut.
Ring of Honor.
This weekend's Ring of Honor is a special Champions Edition. Bandito will defend the ROH World Championship against Alex Zane, and Josh Woods defends the Pure Championship against LSG.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
New Japan has a major show coming up this weekend. It's Power Struggle from Osaka on Saturday. The main event is Shingo Takagi defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Zack Sabre Jr. Kazuchika Okada puts his right to challenge for the top title on the line against Tama Tonga. Hiroshi Tanahashi defends his United States Championship against Kenta. El Desperado challenges Robbie Eagles for the junior title. Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshihashi defend their Never Six-Man titles against Bullet Club's House of Torture, Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, and Sho. Plus, Toru Yano defends his KOPW 2021 provisional title against Great-O-Khan under amateur wrestling rules. Saturday night's New Japan Strong has Will Ospreay and TJP versus Clark Connors and Ren Narita, El Phantasmo versus Juice Robinson, and David Finlay, Alex Coughlin, and Yuya Uemura versus JR Kratos and the West Coast Wrecking Crew. That is Just Pro Wrestling News for Friday, November 5th. Be sure to subscribe to this feed so you don't miss our next update. We also thank you in advance for leaving a glowing rating or review. It helps a lot. I'm Matt Carlins. Thank you for listening.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.